No, it's not. It's never been on time. It hasn't been on time ever, not once.
Is that our thing? I don't think that's our thing. On Time is a totally different show. And if people want On Time, you're gonna have to check out their network, but they're probably racists. I mean, I don't know them personally, but given the fact that they're constantly starting on time, you know.
In case, did they hear that out there, or was that?
I don't know who's what the heck.
They'll find us. It'll be okay.
Come on.
They're hungry for us. They can't trust us. How could they? Oh, just got notified. There we go.
Now we're live.
There we go. Now,
hey.
There we go. Awesome.
Who's got the big giant no camera?
Very nice. All right.
Who's got the big giant no camera in Meats?
Sterling.
Yeah, that's what we have.
Botting really bad.
Is that me or is that?
I can still hear Bull pretty well, so it might be you, Nick. But big no camera is Sterling. Sterling, the first guy.
I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, everything just went wonky. Everything.
Okay. Let me see.
It says the screen
on my end
is rather low, but
I don't know why. I'm sending it. It's fucking restream. Okay, I'm done.
We can bypass restream and just get into Let's bypass restream and just get into YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start the stream before we can't.
Oh, that looks good.
Sterling, please turn the camera a bit off in the Meats.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should put out with the invite.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, that's a huge improvement.
I just had a little bit of a lag spike there with everything going at once, but it looks like we're good now.
Yep.
How about the?
Wait, can you hear us?
Meats?
Not yet.
Hey, there's somebody. No.
I'd know that mustache anywhere, even by silhouette.
I think what I'm doing.
Meats, you guys there?
I can hear Jim. I think he's talking yet. I can hear clowning around. I think it's Jim.
You guys are like picking up Nick and Mikey. I don't know why this is all of a sudden a huge issue tonight.
Hi.
Can you hear me, Jim?
Oh, hey. How are ya?
Can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I can hear you.
Talk to him on.
Can you hear Nick?
Okay.
I can hear Jim. Just I hear the.
It's like somebody's cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Maybe
hey,
that's
Bull, do me a favor.
No, you sound good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, so I can't hear Mikey or Nick. They're the ones who keep cutting in and out.
They need
oh, well, good. Those
talk.
are the ones I didn't want to talk to.
They need to talk. They're not talking. Talk, Nick. Mikey, say something to your guests, please. Don't leave me to do this.
Bull, I will never speak to guests on this show. You know me better than that. How dare you, sir? I refuse.
Can you hear them, guys? Can you hear him talking to you?
Yes, I could hear both of them. I could hear.
I'm not
saying
asking
that I
you,
was saying
Nick. I'm not asking you, Nick. I'm asking
sorry.
them if they can hear you and Mikey. Please. Can you guys hear Nick and Mikey when they were talking just now? Did you guys hear them at all?
No, I can hear you, but I cannot hear Nick or Mike.
Not sure why.
They keep cutting in
Nick
and out.
and Mikey.
Yeah, they're cutting in and out for me too.
So they're cutting in and out, but you can hear them partially. Figures.
Bull.
Right.
I have an idea.
Seems like
It sounds like
a
they're dropping
lag or
frames.
like a-
You know what I mean?
Everybody talking at
Like a
once
bad
isn't
connection,
helping.
maybe?
Please be quiet. All right. I'm
Bull.
going to
Bull.
shut this stream down because this is not working
Hold on,
the way
hold on.
it does. What?
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds, Bull. 2 seconds before you shut it down. How about me and Nick mute ourselves in VMix, and then we unmute ourselves in the call, and we just do that for now, and then we'll work on it in a couple minutes.
That's fine. That'll.
But let's get something going so that people are not just sitting here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's fine.
Did you catch that, Nick?
Weird.
It is weird.
Hi
because this-
guys. I bet you can hear me now.
Hi.
Hey there. Okay.
You got to mute in here if you're going to be over there.
Yeah, no, I did. All right. So who have we got?
I think you have me. I think so.
All right. I got Jim.
Yes.
And you got Sterling.
Perfect. Sammy's in here. So who's thank you guys for coming. Who's got something that they wanted to say that they've been going through? How are things? Jim, it's great to see you. It's been too long, by the way. Let me just say that.
Good seeing you too, man. I mean, the only thing that's changed here is I took the kids out of school a week before spring break, which would have been this past Friday. And they've already announced that the kids aren't going back until at least the end of this next 6 weeks. But from the whispers through the grapevines in the small town, it seems like it's going to be indefinite, probably till the end of the year.
Oh my God.
Yep. Yeah, there's quite a few confirmed cases. I think 7 or 9 in Oklahoma, and they're all relatively close.
Why is Oklahoma hit so much?
You know, I don't know. I know one of them went to Florida, and I think that was the problem.
Florida's always the problem.
Yep,
Just saying.
I agree.
We'll pretend Bull's not from Florida. Yeah.
How dare you?
Oh. All right.
Well,
So, wow, for the end of the year, that's insane. Now they're gonna have to figure out how to, educate them. Are they going to try to do anything online? Are they talking about any alternatives?
no, there's been no talk about distance learning or anything like that. It's just like they seem like they want to finish up like the last week's grading, but other than that, I haven't heard anything.
You know what's going to happen with the teachers? Are they getting paid? Are they?
That I do not know. Unfortunately, I'm not really in a position to where I can, be that frank with one of the teachers. Which I mean, I guess I should be. I'm on the PTO, but it's it's kind of a touchy subject.
I have a family member who's a teacher in Illinois, and the way their pay structure works out is they get paid year round. So it's not like in the olden days when a teacher would have to get a summer job because they're only paid for 12 months. So their salary nowadays in Illinois anyway is spaced out for 12 months.
Right.
So,
but they commit themselves to a certain number of days, so they would still have to fulfill that.
Right. So here in Illinois, she is doing They're doing schooling, but it's all remote schooling from home. So she has to do the online lesson plans, grading, all that stuff. So they're still going to school. They're just not going into school. It's like teleschool.
Same here. I have several encyclopedia sets, and they're learning how to do honest research. So they're loving me for that.
So Sterling, Jim, and Nick, can we all agree that I have been doing online schooling for the internet, and I should get a salary comparable to what teachers are getting straight out of Nick's bank account? Can we all be in agreement here?
We
Hey,
have
I get paid out of my bank.
I'm thinking like 10%. I can agree.
Oh, you can get 10% of what's in my bank account. 10% of zero is still zero, but all right.
Hey, I just want the
It
medal.
won't be
Okay, I
zero
don't need
always.
a cash prize.
I'm trying to secure the bag. You know, before Nick becomes super popular and famous, I'm trying to sink my claws deep into this end time thing. You know what I mean?
Jesus, I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm all of a sudden, I'm not. Am I the only one? Is it getting hot in here? What?
It's getting cold as
Nick, do you
shit
have
over
a
here.
fever? Do you have a fever, Nick? Are you delirious? Have you signed over the rights to the channel?
I gotta tell you, I'm feeling like I gotta take a break. I gotta be sequestered. Want to go into a deep hole somewhere and maybe hide.
I found something kind of interesting. Let me show you this. Okay, so Johns Hopkins has put together this coronavirus resource center, and it's an interactive map where you can look at all of the different cases around the world, like North America, for example. Like I'm right around here in this area, but it shows you how many confirmed cases there were, how many deaths. Like you're talking about Italy and their deaths, and I was looking at that and following along with you. Pardon me.
It's the one that looks like a boot. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses. Okay. Here we go. Italy confirmed cases 24,747, 1,809 deaths. And San Marino's got 7 deaths.
Hold on. I have a question. How do they confirm these cases? Because I think test kits have been like a major thing in people trying to find these test kits.
In the U.S., in other countries, they're easily available.
Right. So they have 24,000 confirmed cases in Italy. There are 7 confirmed cases in Oklahoma. So like that just shows you like what the availability is of these test kits.
So did Russia not have anything? Is that what I saw over Moscow?
In Mother Russia, coronavirus no kill you, you kill coronavirus.
I'm trying to find there was
it is so damn cold in Russia. Oh look, there's a little spot. 63 confirmed cases.
I wonder if they just put it in the center of the country.
They're probably U.S. politicians.
Nick, can you say exactly what Jim just said in Russian?
Я не так думаю, нет. Если ты хочешь, но я не так думаю. Я не слушал, что он сказал.
Sounds just like Polish or Lithuanian.
Sounds like commie to me.
I can understand Poles usually, and Lithuanians not so much. Czechoslovakians on occasion, if I really work at it.
I grew up with my best friend. His dad was from Czechoslovakia. He moved over when he was a kid, and he was a saddle maker. Like he worked with leather, made boots and stuff. His name was Slavko Drazik, and he was the most badass dude I've ever met in my life. Just a hard cowboy, the mustache like would put mine to shame. Yeah.
Don't ever say that. That's blasphemy.
It's true.
I will
though.
kick out anybody who says that about your mustache, even you. No.
He's only seen me with my mustache once, and it was at my grandpa's funeral, and he came up and he goes, Jim Majors, he said, your mustache, it needs work, but it's a good start, son. It's a good start.
Yo, if I'm over there doing layups and MJ comes up, slaps me on the ass and says, hey, man, looking good out there.
Good game.
There's no higher praise, Jim Majors. You've made it, man.
Yeah, that's rewarded in itself. At that point, you don't even need a salary.
Yeah, just fucking walk
You just
out,
got me
bro.
thinking with this interactive map. There was one I saw earlier from the CDC, I think, and I'm trying to find it. There was this interactive like projection. You could move the scale, how quickly we respond.
Yeah, this one does it too. So these are the cumulative confirmed cases, and these are the active cases, like the ones that they're still quarantined or they're confirmed in one way or another. But I mean that's a lot, and I'm guessing that the remote aspect of Africa and the limited transport is the reason for the scarcity.
I would imagine. I mean, yeah. A lot of those places, any place that it takes an extended period of time and you can't get to easily, especially by planes, lowers the transmission rates. That's also one reason why you can have in Africa, like Ebola, something like that, doesn't get out of the country. Ebola is immensely lethal, but that's a benefit. It kills people so quickly. It kills them before they can get on a plane, travel 18 hours, and somebody doesn't know there's a serious problem just by looking at them.
Right, kind of traps them in. That's why they call it Ebola and not E-Plata.
Oh God, I am on a show with a bunch of clowns.
There it is.
Sorry.
Look, first of all, I was the first clown here. I got dibs.
Nobody is disputing that.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the clowns.
You can have that title.
Okay,
you did just tell
I volunteer to get this?
But
go for it, Nick.
Right. No, I'm going to take some time off. But who's going to pay me if I'm not broadcasting? And is Mike going to steal my? He's going to steal my seat for real.
I'll pay you twice what you're getting now.
See.
Okay. Well, with the 99-cent club, if we sell one, yeah.
The 99-cent shave
it'll be
club?
$1.98. Yep.
No one will even know what the dollar shave club is if we come out with a 99-cent shave club. Don't forget all about it. Like Daimler.
So
no one knows what Daimler is.
Oh boy.
No one knows what Daimler. Yeah. Okay. So what else is going on with how's Oklahoma, or at least the people? I know you can't speak for the whole state, but how are people that dealing with this? How are they handling this? Are they scared? Do they think it's an overreaction? Do they think it's a left-wing conspiracy?
It's kind of a half and half. The people who are in my situation, who are living more rural that I've talked to, they're not worried about it, and they're just kind of really dismissal of it. But the people who actually have to engage with larger groups or are in town every day, multiple times a day. Like I go to town, what I call go to town, like to the grocery store, like maybe once every 2 weeks. And other than that, I don't leave the farm unless it's for something else. But the people who have the luxury of staying in their homes and not having to engage, they're not too worried about it. But there's a huge panic. Cleaning supplies were wiped out at Walmart. But one brand of toilet paper was like wiped off of the shelves. It was crazy. I couldn't find any trail mix or almonds. All they had was peanuts, and I was like, I'm just here grocery shopping, and you guys are like, I don't know what you're stocking up for, but it involves large quantities of nuts.
Have you considered that the local squirrel population has been doing like
possibly? I can see the benefit of having them
on top of the other on top of the other with the trench coat coming in.
Scary as fuck.
Yeah, they just
I
like
know-
they stack up on top of each other, and they come in with a trench coat and then buy all the trail mix.
No, man, that's scary. I don't like that.
See?
I'm in the Chicagoland area, and I know that around here, it's. I'm a truck driver. I fill up fuel stations with gas, of course, gas and diesel. And the rail yards, especially, have been stocking up on diesel. The railroads and local governments have been stocking up on oil, like diesel fuel, gasoline for their emergency vehicles. And it's been kind of crazy keeping gas stations stocked. And then a couple times I've delivered to local gas stations, you see a lot of people filling up their cars, gas cans in their cars. Saw one lady trying to put gas in a garbage bag, put in her trunk, which was astounding to me. But
if it's anything like here, the gas prices are low. It's like 187, 189 here, and they've been gradually going down. But I see really soon it jumping up to over $4 a gallon overnight.
I don't doubt that. And they're already, I mean, my work has come out and said that we no longer have to go into the gas stations to drop off paperwork. We bring everything back with us. They're going to email paperwork into these businesses every day now, so I don't have to worry about the people in the stores per se. Also, if this starts getting bad, we're under instruction to have police escorts to and from the stations, so you don't get bum rushed at the stations.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the introverts and socially awkward are just celebrating by themselves.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Like the extroverts. Who was oh yeah, that's a story I was told, but I probably can't. Yeah, I think people who enjoy hanging out with others are in for some difficult times, I think.
Yeah. Well, like my neighbor, I was talking to him earlier, and he went to go shake my hand like whenever I was leaving, and I was like, "Sorry, no can do, buddy."
Saw this meme where everybody was just foot bumping everybody. Looked like
Foot
a dance with everybody was foot bumping everybody.
My inner Kid and Play came out, and it was awesome. I was so happy that this is a thing now.
That the virus is a thing now?
No, Kid and Play. Didn't you see Kid and Play? House Party?
Oh no.
The light-skinned dude with the flat top.
I know what it is.
Eraserhead.
That was my
I
jam.
know my life
So
is.
now I get to do
is-
everybody.
I don't know
I
where
think
I am
my life
right
is
now.
woefully incomplete because I haven't seen it, but yeah.
Laysai.
Well, what did I get invited to again? What are we talking about?
What did you guys? This is the after show to the thing we had earlier. It's discussing the virus, the effects that it's having on people in the world, locals, communities, just going on. It's kind of or just the second reason we're getting together is it's a stash appreciation party. But that's
Gotcha.
sort of like,
I know I sent my wife out Friday as soon as I saw Trump on TV and he was making his announcement Friday. I just sent the wife out. I said, we don't need any paper products. We don't need anything like that. Just go and get some eggs, some bacon, just random grocery stuff. And when she came home, she goes, it was like I was watching a zombie movie on TV. People were just insane. And I wasn't even trying to buy stuff, but you get caught up in this thing where you see everybody trying to take everything and you're worried that you're not going to be able to get anything. So she found herself putting stuff in the cart that she didn't necessarily need. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I get it. You kind of get caught up in the hysteria of it all. You know what I mean? And she said
there's
it
certain
freaked her out.
novelty to it, though, isn't there? There's a certain like I don't know, like I guess like a novelty factor to it. It's kind of like when I was in Louisiana, like for like hurricanes and stuff, like having like a hurricane party and and joking about the hurricane right before it hits. It's I don't know. It just seems like it's just the way that society and culture is evolved to deal with things like this.
and it's really too bad because I work in that sphere, and
Mhm.
the moms who need like the nursery water to make bottles and stuff like that, they can't get it now because people ran out of regular like gallons of water and bottles of water to buy because they're over prepping. So now
because
moms
you got some
finding,
selfish greedy ass to grab 12 of them, and he's sitting on a case while somewhere somebody needs some.
yeah, because what happens is they start taking things that they don't exactly need, but that will fit their purposes. But for the people that actually need those individual, very specific items, they're no longer there. And the store's not really equipped to take care of such things. There's only so many pallets that can fit on a truck. Period.
Yep.
And there's only so many trucks we're going to get a day.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, they've allowed trucks to run heavy now, so all weight restrictions have been lifted, hours of service have been lifted, all that's been lifted. So it's like
Really?
it's
But
like
those
the
trucks-
old west right
but
now.
those
Yeah,
trucks-
all FMCA rules and regulations are temporarily suspended indefinitely until further notice.
Well,
But those trucks
I
have
just
to
say
be built by
I'm
somebody.
extremely
Hold on,
fortunate.
hold on.
I've never been in this position
Jim.
before, but even with all the panic and everything, I feel very comfortable with where I am, just knowing that I can, at the very least, contain myself and my family long enough in order to, provide ourselves with necessary isolation, even long term if necessary. So it's a good feeling of being prepared.
So the other part of it is those trucks have to be filled by somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys can't work 24 hours a day for 7 days a week until this sells.
Right.
They're going to run out of people. The people need days off.
Same thing with healthcare providers.
Backlog, right. The backlog
A
is
lot of
crazy.
nurses and young healthcare professionals have kids. Kids are out of school. Who's going to stay home and help the kids? What are the nurses going to do? The medical field is going to have the biggest impact because they're getting a blow to their workforce, and at the same time, they're seeing a huge spike in patients.
Yeah. And I'm not doing on you, Jim, but there's a bit of a lag. And me and Nick jumping in the call this way, it's got a little bit of additional lag and some roboting.
My apologies.
Just to make your way. The warehouses can't keep up with what the stores need. The trucks can't even carry enough to one store at one time to accommodate what the customers are buying. This spirals downhill so quick in like 2 steps. So if you guys are out there and you go to the store, leave a little on the shelf. I'm not saying don't buy what you think you need. Obliged to all limits that people put up. Buy what you need for the week.
I posted
The
a link
stores
in the
will
side
replace
chat.
it.
Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
The
Go ahead.
stores will replace what you buy, but there's only so much that they can do in so little time. You got to give them time to recover.
Well, and preparing is just half of it. It's not even half of it. Like we can't do this by ourselves. We cannot individually outlast and survive this. If we're going to survive this without without extraordinary casualties, then we're going to have to do it together. We're going to have to band up. We're going to have to look out for each other and be a community instead of just worried about ourselves surviving.
So this is,
And
I just do a show where we're talking all about the numbers. It's all like, this is serious stuff that's going on. And Mikey's like, I'm going to make lots of jokes and it's going to be funny. And then we're going to have fun at the after show. And we go to the after show. And Mikey's all like, okay, people, this is serious. You need to make sure that you don't take everything. Let me talk. I need everybody to know. Okay, fine.
It's just not groceries and toilet paper either. I saw today that they've made a run on stores for ammo. They've already instilled ammunition limits for people who need ammo, panic buying ammunition and all that stuff, guns and ammunition. And it's
panic and ammunition. That's two words I love to have together in the same sentence.
That virus can have me, but it's getting bullets first.
It's
tell me where that Corona's had.
I learned my lesson when we had the last time we had that ammo crisis a few years back during the Obama years. So I already had some on standby. I didn't have to go get
any. The W2F's on their way to your IP address. Don't even worry about it.
Yes?
Nobody.
Yeah, so
Nobody.
That's all right.
We've got a few. Let's see.
I don't have anything that they
I'm
can't.
just reading the live chat. They're saying, a few people here are. So who here? So we've got a truck driver. You're working.
Yes.
I work from home. I can write. I can sew. No, I'm my boss has said, Nick, take some time off. We'll still pay you. So that's the pleasures of being self-employed. My wife's off of work. My kids are home now. It turns out 3 weeks. We were told on Friday, we were told just for the day. It's like, yeah, sure. And then 2 days later, the governor shuts it down for 3 weeks. So the kids are home 3 weeks, like, yay, vacation. I was like, you realize they're taking this out of the summer. But, okay.
Yeah, my wife, she works for a, I don't want to say the name of the company, but it's an online nursing university, the best way to put it. And she works in a department where nurses have to remain compliant. And they've basically shut down all campuses. They've shut down all the offices, and everybody is strictly remote until further notice. So she's working, but she gets to work from home. I don't get that luxury. I have to go and deal with the public, at least minimally deal with the public, but deal with the public nonetheless.
If you start to need a police escort, I mean, how many, is that even realistic? What's the ratio of police officers to truckers?
No, yeah, that's a good question. I know when we did hurricane relief down in Florida, I'm up here in Chicago, and when the hurricanes hit, they had such a run on gas that they actually sent half of our fleet to Florida to assist in getting those fuel out. And what would happen is they would have a police officer at the terminal where I would go and load the gas, and they would say, you have to wait for this officer, and they'd say, you go with him and you follow him to the station. And then they'd have a car in front and a car behind, and they would, no, don't stop for stoplights, don't stop for stop signs, nothing. Jeez. They just ran us straight to the station, and they gave us protection at the station to make sure nobody took anything from us. And then when we came home, so I'm assuming it would be similar to that here.
Well, that's essentially martial law, though. I mean, that's not just an escort. They
weren't under martial law down in Florida when I was there last time. It was just that people were seriously concerned about being robbed off the trucks. You know, people just blocking the truck, and then going up to the side of the truck and just trying to fill 5-gallon buckets. You know what I mean? And people were doing that, or trying to do that down there. So it was kind of one of those things where, you know, under the emergency rules, they just said, don't stop. You're going to be under escort there and escort back. So, and
like, how stupid do you have to be to think that a 5-gallon bucket is a safe way to transport gasoline?
DJ, I kid you not. Friday afternoon, I saw a woman putting it in hefty garbage bags in her trunk of her car. Not even a truck, in the trunk of her car.
I saw a guy put it in a styrofoam cup one time, melted the cup. He went inside and got another cup, came out and tried it again.
It melts all that shit.
I'm just telling you what I saw. I never said it was smart.
No, I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at them. Don't you guys know what covalent bonds are?
Let me ask you a question. You know what a covalent bond is, or you just pulled that out of your ears?
No, hey, look. A lot of my chemistry is lost because I got my wisdom teeth out, and I was on opioids, and I will blame that on my opioids.
Look, all I know is
Remember
that if
that.
somebody's valent and you're doing it with them, you're fucking covalent.
You were covalent AF. You were covalent. You're co-spiriting valent.
Yep. Absolutely.
Co-conspirator
Aiding and abetting,
valent.
aka covalency.
So this is the question I have then. So have you ever carried? Well, no. Let me phrase it this way: how much wine can you put in that truck? And have you gone into the Massachusetts area recently at all?
No, definitely have not been in the Massachusetts area. No.
Okay.
Although I do have family in the Boston area.
Yeah, it's getting a little. Our governor's. Well, it's interesting because he's a Republican in liberal Massachusetts, but a Republican in Massachusetts is usually still considered a Democrat everywhere else. But there's a lot of, he's a Republican, so people get a little iffy when he issues executive orders like this. But it's again, this is a liberal thing by the rest of the country's standards.
At least it wasn't a day of
curious to see
prayer.
what happens. What?
So at least it wasn't a day of prayer.
Yeah.
Oh God. That guy.
Yeah, so I got a feeling that this is going to get worse before it gets better. And the more people read on the news about how bad it is, and it's just going to drum people up into a panic. And it's not even the virus at this point that has me concerned. It's desperate people doing desperate things at this point that has me concerned out there in the public.
Well, if the media wasn't inciting like hysteria, it would still exist, but it would be isolated to these communities where it would hit the hardest. But I mean, there would still be hysteria, and it would spread, but just not the way it is now.
Well, no,
that's why
we had the big one was H1N1, right? And back then, social media wasn't the force that it is today. So even though the news drums it up, you still get a lot of the social media aspect that can spread the news where the media can't. So I don't think it was just the media's fault. I think it's just news, the way news spreads in general as a whole in today's day and age.
All right, but social media's ability to spread the news and the truth about what's happening around the world is completely reliant upon the fact that the person reading it is taking it into or it's taking it as authoritative.
I can agree with you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, people
I
take
don't
the
think
show as
many
authoritative.
people,
We have no idea what we're doing, but
I think there's a lot of people who don't trust social media just because of the troll aspect.
I don't know. If you read it on the internet, it must be true.
Right.
I had a few customers come up to me with Facebook like printouts, or not printouts, but it's like they pull up their Facebook and then showed it to me like, is this true? And I'm like, why the hell are you bringing Facebook ads up to a retail worker? Is that your level of truth? Like, is that true to you now because you saw it on Facebook and someone who's an hourly worker told you yes?
Only if it reaffirms what I already believe to be true.
Confirmation bias is big right now.
Well, yeah. Mikey, how is this whole thing affecting your field of employment? Without going into too much detail on where you work or anything.
We've told him no matter how sick he gets, he still has to come in. Oh, you mean?
Yeah, man. I gotta quarantine my office, so I won't be able to work from home anymore. I'll be up in bed, and the Wi-Fi doesn't go up that far.
And they closed down the university. I did most everything online, but would still go up there for resources. But now you can't even go up there for resources. They say that any place with people, with a gathering over 50 people, that there can't be one. So any place where that could potentially happen, they've closed down.
Yeah, MGM Grand just closed their casino on Vegas.
Really, they closed the
casino.
casino.
All the other Vegas. Yep, casino's down now. That was about an hour ago, a little less than that. I told you, there's breaking news. The whole.
When are churches making the announcement?
In
Some of
Tennessee,
them
they
have.
were asked to about a week ago, but I don't know whether they did or didn't.
Well,
Some of them have stopped their services,
they got to pray about
and
it.
some of them haven't. Well, here's the thing. I got some feedback the other day because of some posts that I had made. Do we want people to continue their faith healing services, even though we know it's not going to work, just to prove our point as a non-believer?
I would say if it's
No.
consensual, sure, because placebo is a very, very strong drug.
Jim, these people have a pathogen. They need to stay home. Even if they're wrong, we need to just let them be
they have a
wrong in
what?
other ways, but we do need them to stay home if they're carrying a pathogen.
That's not what Boris Johnson thinks. He thinks that we should kill them. They should get the virus. If they die, it makes the remaining ones stronger for the next round. That's essentially his argument.
Boris Johnson is the equate Walmart version of Donald Trump. So there you go.
I'm pretty sure it's just our sin nature.
Jim, don't you start with me.
Well, I live in a small suburb of Chicago, and our mayor had just posted tonight, due to the run on the stores and everything, that you can go on every Monday and Wednesday. You can go to the high school, and then they're going to have a drive-up tent. You can drive up, and you can get enough food for a family of 4 for 3 days, enough for breakfast and lunches. So
That's how you look out for your community. That is exactly the opposite of this screw you, I'm going to help myself attitude that everybody's been displaying lately.
yeah, that's what our mayor just posted today.
That's great. That's awesome.
I went to my wife. I go, hey, should we go get in line for that? She goes, I think we're going to be fine. You don't need to go get in line for that. I said, okay.
See,
and good on you.
Sterling's one of them.
I was
Well, that's what reduces the runs too. That's what I was saying. Trump should spend some of the $40 billion emergency declaration on that kind of thing,
or refunding the Center for Disease Control.
It's not just the CDC, but all health organizations across the U.S. have lost roughly 25% of their budget since 2008.
I read 60% for the CDC somewhere.
Maybe I think the CDC may be that. The individual health hospitals and health organizations, the budgets, local budgets have been slashed by about 25% on average across the U.S. since the financial meltdown. It was supposed to be restored after the meltdown and after the recovery, and nobody bothered to restore it. They said we don't need the new numbers, so we're actually understaffed already.
You'll probably see a similar correlation in education.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I worked in education for a while. that was my experience. When I was a teacher, I calculated how much I was making per hour. It came out to be about $12 an hour by the time you were done. Because I got summers off, but during the summers I had to do curriculum. The teachers make the curriculum, not the state. The state tells you sort of what it has to be, but you're the one who has to actually write it. So you do, 2 weeks of curriculum work. You do all the state mandated extra learning, then the
workshops,
federally mandated for core curriculum, anything like that. By the time you're done keeping up your license and everything else, you got about $12 an hour.
And student teaching without being paid.
Yep, and staying after school. Everybody expects teachers
grading papers for somebody else while they get paid.
Yeah.
Some of the high schoolers here posted in our local town group that if any kids need tutoring while everybody's off, anybody K through 10, because they're all seniors, said, give us a call. We'll help tutor anybody who needs it. I mean, people were stepping up to the plate to help where they can.
That's great.
So it's good to see that when everybody else is going nuts.
I'm gonna go ahead. Hold on. I'm gonna jump in and interrupt. Remember Sammy Jenkins? Did you have anything? Yeah. Did you want us to? Yeah, there we go. Come on in.
Sammy Jenkins and Eyes is here.
Yeah, we got some new faces. New
Yeah, I'm
voices.
here. I'm unfamiliar, so I'm just going to be quiet for a bit.
All right.
You're my
welcome.
favorite kind of guest.
Don't be. You have a lovely voice.
Well, thank you. I just don't know anybody other than remember Sammy Jenkins invited me, so here I am.
Well, I'm Jim Majors, and that's Nick Soutter, and that's Mikey Famine. He's Italian.
And I'm Sterling. I'm the lone libertarian in the group.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't see you. You were hiding behind me on my screen.
Yeah.
He's not a libertarian. He's a Democrat. He's just afraid to say it.
Well, you know, this damn troopers always miss him, you know.
That's true.
Well,
That's true. But I don't want to have that webcam on right now. I'd scare everybody away.
I'm
He's
just
hiding
waiting to
behind that
see what
front
the
of his
conversation's about before I jump in too much.
Well, we're just sort of trying to figure out how everyone's coping with and dealing with the seismic changes going on both in our local and global communities right now.
It hasn't really impacted my community just outside of a preventative measures aspect, but it hasn't really. I don't think it's really set in, especially since it's largely a senior community where I live. Like we're all spread apart, far from each other. But most of the old farmers out here are old men, and they have their old wives, and not many young people.
Well, as long as they're not really sort of engaging with each other too much, they're probably going to be okay. But if they do, that's the population that's most at risk. But I think
they all go to the same
population
church.
density out there is so low.
Yeah. Well, they all go to the same church. They all have grandkids that come and visit them, and I think those two are the most detrimental things to them.
Plus, they're old school, so if they're anything like any of the farmers around here, they're like, "Oh, nothing's going to get me anyway." You know, they're just they're a different breed altogether.
All right, just give me some super glue. I'll be all right.
Yeah, if it's my time, it's my time. So I'm just going to live my life. And yep.
Now, my the issue, what concerns me most, on how this is going to go is for people who are off of work, especially those in the service industry. I know Italy instituted things where they suspended mortgage payments, rent payments, all that kind of thing. Is that anything that may be able to happen here so that people who are affected by this don't lose everything they have, essentially go bankrupt?
I'd like to see it. I don't know that Trump is that forward thinking. First of all, I brought up in the stream, and I think this is worth considering. The Guardian is a bulletproof, reliable source. Now, they quoted a German newspaper about a German company. Now, German news is also pretty reliable, but I don't know them as well, so I can't say I'd really stand by it. I think I would, but their consensus was that Trump is trying to buy this company that may have a COVID-19 vaccine. Trump doesn't strike me as being overly empathic and overly sympathetic to the plight of other people. I don't think he didn't want. I mean, just a week and a half ago, he was walking into Congress saying this isn't going to be a big deal and nobody cares. I don't think he's going to be that forward thinking, and I think that's also very anti-capitalist, which I don't mind. I don't think that's necessarily a negative. We're not a perfectly capitalist society as it is. The police is socialized, so is the fire department. But he's gonna. I would imagine he's gonna come up with, well, then these landlords, they deserve their money and they have to pay for groceries too. And now you're taking. I don't know how they're going to deal with it. Italy is also a much smaller country.
Well, I feel like I'm kind of getting the short end of the stick because my mortgage it's a fixed rate mortgage, so I'm not affected by it in that ratio in that aspect. But when it comes to like demand for services or like other means of income, that's I'm going to be affected that way if it's detrimental as they say it's going to be.
Can you hear me now?
But meaning,
Yes.
but I'm still going to have to pay my same interest rate, same mortgage payment.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how all that would work. It's very interesting. I know if they suspended mortgage payments, then those even paying rent wouldn't necessarily have to pay the rent because the landlord wouldn't have to pay the mortgage. I mean, I'm not really sure how all that would work. I know with the whole Trump thing, I know he, like you said, he was kind of pushing everything off. It wasn't going to be all that bad, and I think he was trying to keep the hysteria to a minimum, and then as he got a lot of pressure, he had to kind of save face and come out and declare the state of emergency and say, "All right, you guys, I'll give you what you want here," kind of a thing. And it kind of it made him look stupid. I mean, I'm not necessarily a Trump hater, but the guy can't talk worth a shit, and it did make him look stupid.
Well,
Nobody can
and
read what hell teleprompter.
it's worth noting that he disbanded the pandemic response unit that Obama put in place and then blamed Obama for not having a pandemic response unit.
Yep.
Well,
and
and
I'm not a Trump fan. I'm vehemently against him, but just to actually sit back and look at the facts, he digs himself his own grave and then blames other people for it.
I think that's every politician ever, though, has done the same thing. I think that's par for the course in Washington.
So, like, what about variable interest loans? Like, will those go to zero too, and the payments at zero, or will you just be paying the principal?
well, those are based on the what is it? I was going to say FDIC, but no, that's insurance. It's based on the Fed rate, which is now dropped to zero. That's usually the Fed rate plus, say, 5% or something. But
right,
they're all going to go to a low rate anyway, ostensibly, because the Fed rate's now down to zero. But
would now be a good time to refi.
Yeah, but
if you could lock in the rate, no bank is going to give you a locked in rate.
Exactly,
right now.
You're going to have a hard time finding somebody to take that deal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out at 0.5% interest. Yeah, I got you. And student loans as well. You know, most student loans are.
I think they can do tellers, but or not tellers, the drive-through, and then but you know, if you want additional bank services, if you want to take out a mortgage, I think it's going to be hard to go in and find a bank that's going to be open.
Yep. Yep. Same thing with student loans.
I think Trump has actually declared that, or the federal government has declared that there's a moratorium on student loan repayments.
It's only on the variable interest loans, though, right?
I don't know. I didn't look into.
As far as I understand with student loans, I thought he came out and said when he was going to do the payroll tax cut, which I don't fully understand. I mean, what are you essentially doing to me? Going to 1099 me at the end of the year for my income then to take out the payroll tax?
Right. You're saying I got to make up for it, like in July.
Exactly. I mean, I get what you're trying to do, but in the end, I mean, I still got to pay that at the end of the year. March,
right. Because somebody's robbing Peter to pay Paul, and somebody's got to pay for it, and it's not going to be him. It's going to be the middleman.
And as far as the student loan thing, I think he said he come out and said it.
Well, we're going to pay with it one or two ways, either by reimbursement or by loss of funding to our infrastructure.
Well, and here's the thing: our tax revenue has gone down, so we've cut down taxes considerably. We're now going to spend all this money to buy oil that we don't need in order to prop up the the oil industry in this country, which right now they're not the ones who are going to be hurting the most.
Shell and fracking is going to take a hit with this price war, the Saudi-Russian price war, big time.
Oh yeah, they've taken a serious hit.
$30 a barrel.
And that's going to drive.
The thing is, first of all, I think that's a good plus for helping us with energy independence. I mean, we probably should be moving off of it anyway. And second of all, they can get they can still sell it here for more than those companies can, because those companies have to ship it. Now they're still taking a huge hit, admittedly, but
the problem is, though, if we have reserves just waiting, and then we have tankers on top of that waiting, they're going to be behind the tankers. They're going to be eager to sell, so just going to drive the price down until they're pressured to sell. and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be really bad for us. It's gonna be a big recession.
Kind of reminds me of 2008. Oil price
Exactly, it
were
damn
$4
sure does.
a barrel, and then literally 2 days later, they were 99 cents a gallon.
Reminds me of Grapes of Wrath.
Oh, that's thanks. Well, you're probably right. but still.
Red wine always gives me headaches.
All right, so who else do we have here who's just joined us? Anyone else has?
Yeah, I can. I guess
There he is.
I'm kind of watch this space at the minute because I'm in a pretty interesting position. Well, interesting for the worse. So I'm, without going into too much detail, a small business who works with vulnerable people who have vulnerable sort of health conditions and things like that. And the nature of my job is I essentially get paid each service that I provide essentially straight after I provide it. And I've noticed that a lot of my clients are starting to self isolate, and not that they have it, just keeping themselves away from society in general. So not requiring my services, and I'm starting to feel it, just starting to feel it now. And now our government's obviously offered sort of tax reliefs and things like that, which, being a new business, I'm not really going to benefit from anyway, because I'm not going to have a great deal of tax to pay anyway. And even if I did, it wouldn't be until our tax time is in July. So, yes, it'd be interesting times ahead, really.
Maybe
That's one way to
those
put it.
affected could get a tax credit or something along those lines.
Yeah, well, they've talked about, they're using the phrase cash injection. So I'll be interested to see what form that takes. But again, it usually just comes in the form of a tax break.
Yeah. Right. Or some sort of a credit back, or like an earned income tax credit, or like a first home buyer's
Exactly. Credit. Yeah. Essentially, the only sort of hard cash so far is people on benefits are getting I think it's about up to $700 payment.
Right. Well, and you also have to think that it's hurting them in the meantime. They don't have that savings to fall back on. They're hurting for those months.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of people having to dig
for our
into
fellow
their
man, but I've seen a lot of good shows of humanity that is restoring my faith. I think we can pull ourselves out of this.
Speaking of just great acts of self-sacrificing humanism, 99-cent shave club. Where else can you get 1 penny off per month for the same shave shit that you're gonna pay for anyway?
I use Dollar Shave
That's where
Club.
we're at.
I just pour
That's
milk
why
and
we've
butter on my face and
introduced
let my cat lick it off.
99-cent shave cup.
well,
I think
the
Mikey's
way
onto
I
something.
see it is they've already had 4 ads now for free from Mikey.
For 99-cent shave club.
So they should give you something.
Yes,
Oh,
they
let me,
should.
98 cents.
How dare
we
you?
have in our this is interesting because we have in our live chat. David Worley, who has been on the show, and I was on his channel. He does interviews. I think he does a spectacular job. He did an interview that got somewhat controversial, and then we ended up having him on in time to discuss it. But he's in the UK, so nothing's closed, and they are relying on the herd immunity that we had discussed in the previous show, and we had mentioned earlier. So I'm curious to think. I was going to type, but then I was just like, well, hey, I could talk and do a shout out. But I am curious to see what his thoughts are on this. I know he's a little tired, so he may not be up for a link to the Hangout. But if he is, we can get him. I can get him that link on Twitter. Actually, I think I may have. No, I don't know. I'm going to send it to him on Twitter and see if we can get him. Everybody
Come on,
here,
David.
Pray, think positive thoughts. Let's. And speaking of, actually, we're going to have. I was going to say, because Jim was talking about thoughts and prayers earlier, but we're going to have Jim on coming up too.
Who's Jim?
The deconversion.
And I just want to say thanks. This is my first time on the after show, and I appreciate everybody. It's having a good time.
Well, good. Well, thank you very much. We haven't done an after show in quite some time, and we're a little rusty at it, but this just means we need more practice.
We need more after shows to get more polished.
Yes, we do.
I always enjoy coming.
Yeah, I love having you.
So,
I'm going to start to. Oh, hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Nick.
No, you go. I'm gonna try to email or tweet David there.
Okay. Jim Majors, who you be? How people find you?
One more time.
Who you be? How people find you?
Oh, who I be? How people find me? I am Jim Majors. I am an ex-Pentecostal, ex-evangelical atheist. I have a YouTube channel where I do religious debates. I do anti-apologetics and give good reasons for atheism and bad reasons for believing in a deity. You can check me out at youtube.com/Jim Majors or on Twitter at Jim Stash, Stache. That's this guy's thing. I don't do the Twitter.
Yeah. Mr. Sterling, would you like to shill yourself in the meantime?
I'm a nobody. I'm nothing. Don't worry about me, guys. I'm over here trying to type Jim crap into my YouTube thing so I can hear all about the non-apologetics.
You have an awesome name, though.
Sterling.
Oh, me?
Sterling.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
you, Jim.
It's a good, solid, shiny name.
Can you, hey, Jim, can you post that in the chat? Because I'd love to take a look at you when you got time.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys
you want a selfie or the YouTube link?
Earlier.
Either or. I mean, I'll take both. I'm up for anything.
There you go. Everybody go like and subscribe. I need subscribers. I want subscribers. I'll do anything for subscribers. DM me and just keep it.
Everyone too. We've had Jim on before. We did, and we're gonna have him on again. And the reason he's love having him on. He's good. Go look up.
I didn't talk about the Bible the whole time.
You tried to get.
We had him on for biblical prophecy, which was real good.
I think this is the first.
It's been on this without yeah.
Oh, I'm subscribed.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been on YouTube talking about the Bible.
So, Sterling, I'm going to give you a second shot here. Act like you have great content and you want everyone to go there.
You can find my channel at youtube.com/Sterling3371. I just do a lot of game streams. I work full time, so I don't have a lot of time to get on there. It's very sporadic. So it's just kind of thing I putz around with just to have fun with just to have fun. But if you'd like, you can go check me out over there. It's definitely for adults
Okay.
only.
I will post Sterling's link in there. Sterling's not great at promoting himself. He wants to insult himself, which is uncommon. But it's
That's
okay. We're going to blow him up so
honest.
he can't do this
It's honesty.
anymore.
It's honesty.
That's just how good of a guy he is.
I'm going to get Sterling on one of my streams because Sterling and me are on opposite sides of the Venn diagram
Big time.
when it comes to politics.
But that's okay.
So we're going to chat about this as friends, as homies, as people who have shared beers. Do we share a beer? We shared
I didn't drink, but you drank.
Xbox.
We shared blow. Oh, but we should mention that on stream.
And there it is.
How do you
So
share?
me and Sterling's blow stories.
Booger sugar.
Yikes.
Well, hold on. I think I have a breaking news thing here. No, it's YouTube.
Shit.
You have been demonetized. We
I saw that coming.
Yeah. I'd like to go a show without
Breaking news:
3 or 4 times.
in-time host admits cocaine addiction on live stream.
Well, I'll go. Okay. I'm hosting. He's here as. Let's just. I mean, he's filler. We needed a beautiful face.
Let's clarify.
We couldn't find one,
He
so we
said
got Mikey.
host.
Are you a cocaine taker apologist, Nick?
Listen, things may have happened. I was young. I was
just
middle
like
aged.
The chaos.
I could never afford it.
Sounds like evasive measures.
Coke was like the rich people. Like I couldn't afford that. I was like, this Coors Light at the grocery store for $12.99 a 24 pack. I'll take that instead.
Yeah, I agreed.
I'll just go with the cheap alternative.
Oh
Mikey
yeah,
and I, we've known each other for a long time. We like to argue politics, kind of like if we were sitting at the dinner table with family and everybody just kind of hollers at each other for a while. It's usually what it devolves into.
do you guys
We
throw
could be
like the
talking
rest
about
of like the turkey
guinea
carcass at
pigs
your uncle
and
too?
argue.
So what was that, Jim?
Do you guys also like throw the turkey carcass at your uncle? Like that's usually what happens.
I haven't gotten that far yet. No, but that's usually how our arguments go, though.
Well,
I don't
I
like
let
that
everybody
Jim
get
is
their
trying to
turkey
limit
first,
us.
like at least most of it.
Jim, why are you trying to limit our creativity?
Oh, I'm not. I'm
What
not
do
trying to
we do
stifle
to
you.
you?
But you blossom, you beautiful butterfly. Show me what you can do.
Sterling and I actually have a turkey carcass at my house
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
right. You weren't expecting to be coddled and loved and motivated, were you? No, that's what I'm here for.
I didn't know how to tell everyone that I literally have a turkey carcass in my house. We literally oven roasted a turkey for like 6 hours over the weekend, and I have the carcass still. How do I tell everybody
You
that
should
without
save it
it
for
being
your,
part of your
for your
joke?
stream.
Well,
Okay.
it's just whatever you feel is right. I like to put it out front because there's skunks and possums that come up and they like that shit.
Word.
But yeah, whatever makes you happy, man.
I just didn't want to like go with your joke, but I did want to acknowledge that I did have a turkey carcass.
Oh, I just didn't want to presume that your uncle was also there too. It's like that'd be hella coincidental.
How do you know
I'm
Sterling's not
going
my
to
uncle?
respectfully bow out, and if anybody else would like to get in, they can take my place. I just want to say thanks one more
Nope.
time, and
Thank you so much for coming by. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it, and I'll see everybody later.
Catch you on the flip, bro.
Bye.
Actually, we're now up at about 90 minutes, so we're going to start wrapping it up reasonably soon. I think we may do another one in another week. Just as we'll feel out how things are going, but I think I'd like to definitely do this again. But
I'm
wanna
going to
interrupt you
do
guys, all right?
I'm going to be doing a live chat either Wednesday or Thursday.
Well, I guess
Well,
while there's
I'll
a
be
there.
lull in the conversation, I'll show myself. If anybody cares who the fuck I am, I make music.
Yeah, who is you?
Chill it
Yeah.
out.
Who the fuck am I? Eyes for Empty is
Tell me.
anywhere, and if you find me, I'm the only one using that name, so make background music that MathPeg uses on his channel,
Oh, nice.
and trying to finish up my album, so then you'll
What
have
kind of music
something
do
to
you?
hear from me. Mostly electronic music. My music background definitely exceeds the type of music that I make, but trying to explore.
I mean, I'm classically trained too, but I make heavy stuff like metal and hardcore, so it happens. You like what you like.
I ride
One of my
horses.
favorite bands ever might be Static X, but I'm not writing Static X type music.
If somebody were to ask me, Jim, name one band that you've never heard of before, I'd say Static X.
Yes,
You've
you
never
have.
heard of Static X?
Yes, I know Jim has, and here's how I know Jim has.
I don't think I have.
If you haven't, sort yourself out, buddy.
I apologize, man. I'll get right on that.
Jim, have you ever played Need for Speed?
Have you ever played Luke Christie?
Need for
Need
Speed
for
is what he
Speed.
said.
I guess not.
Yeah, Mikey,
Like
if you
Need
could
for
stop
Speed
talking about
Underground
your
1, the most
penchant
iconic
for
game ever.
certain recreational activities.
Oh, I don't. Not really huge into gaming. I do it every now and then when I have time, but I never have that.
Oh, you meant Speed the game. My
Yes,
bad.
yes, Nick. We have those conversations off stream.
Yeah.
But
So
the Need
anyway,
for
that's
Speed
mine.
game franchise. Go ahead.
That was my low key show.
Well, you'll tweeter me or face me on the iBox. Do the thing.
I have no idea what that last sentence was.
Just do stuff with the
if you
clicks.
played the most popular, oh, go ahead.
Nope.
As for Empties, just remember that. That's me.
Oh.
Eyes for Empties. But you've heard some Static X before, Jim. You've heard a couple songs, probably. You didn't know who they were. They're just like in that new metal, late 90s, early 2000s period. They didn't get
Oh,
huge.
you're so underselling them.
I'm helping them.
I'm not trying to say that they're the best thing ever, but I did see Wayne Static play one of his last concerts in Denver right before he died, and went to his show that was supposed to be on his birthday, but he died 3 days earlier, and so I'm sort of a sucker for Wayne Static because dude knew how to write music, but
Good songs. Tough group of musicians to get those songs out with. And that was one thing that kind of, just as big as Disturbed is, there's no reason Static X couldn't have been the same thing.
yeah,
But I think
one of
their
those
choice
a
of
better
musicians,
band, and Disturbed is not that better band.
yeah, I think just the choice of musicians in the time period that they came out kind of stifled them. But it happens.
All right. Well,
Sometimes
listen,
good
I'm
music
going
is
to start
slept
to
on.
wrap this up, I think. I do want to say thanks
I'll
hi to Renee, who has
jump
also
out
just
before
joined us.
I-
He's in the live chat. He was brought by the discussion we had earlier on Trump trying to get a hold of the at least the report from the Guardian and then off of the German newspaper saying that Trump was trying to get the vaccine for, quote, exclusively for Americans. but because I don't know, I think he doesn't like America. That's it. So he just, he believes whatever he reads. At any rate, so I think everybody has showed their stuff, but if everyone wants to take another minute again, Jim, if you want to start it off and just say who you are and where people can find you.
I'm Jim Majors, and I've talked enough tonight. I love you all.
There you go. Short and sweet. Who's next?
It's not me. I'm going last.
I am also Jim Majors, and I also love you all.
Bastard.
I thought it was Mikey who steals people's identities, but okay.
I kind of like
guys,
it.
I'm Nicholas Lamar Soutter, and I'm going last.
God.
And you guys can catch me at www.patreon.com/MikeyFamine, Mixer.com/MikeyFamine, Twitch.com/MikeyFamine, Facebook.com/ what is it, M? Whatever their thing is. I'm on Facebook at Mikey Famine. And you can also catch me, Nicholas Lamar Soutter, on A Stitch in Time, a subset of In Time, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central.
In time, not on time.
This is A Stitch in Time. And we're all.
Hey, so far Stitch has been closer to on time than the rest of the shows.
Just saying. Just saying.
All right, anyone else?
I'm Eyes for Empties. You can't search for that and not find me.
Yeah, that's
Trying
an
to
original
make some music. Yeah, that's 3 words that my homie said to me in a bar, and it totally made sense to me, and I claimed it, and that's who I am.
All
We will
right.
become friends soon.
This is what.
Yeah, maybe if you have Eyes for Empties.
Branding.
All right. Well, then I think it's getting it's on the East Coast here. It's almost 1:00. I think both Bull and I are. Bull certainly deserves like a Purple Heart after getting this one going. So thank you all for joining us, and we will be back again tomorrow between 9:30 and 10 to cover just on the off chance that there's anything that updates tomorrow. And we'll do another one of these hangouts probably in about a week, and hopefully you guys will all come back and we'll update what everyone has experienced since then. I unfortunately think this has been kind of time compression. It's like every 3 days. It's like, wow, that was an intense last month. But,
everybody, just take care of yourself, please.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Don't touch other people's face. Don't wash other people's hands.
Don't poke other people's noses.
Sage advice from Jim.
Yeah, don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Oh, come on, man.
That's an easy one to remember. All right. Well, thank you all very much. My name is Nicholas Lamar Soutter, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining us.